Okay, y'all, good morning, good morning. It's, what is it? It's Friday morning, man. We're not working today. Well, I got some other stuff I got to do. I got a nice little surprise later in the video, and that's really gonna make my life a lot easier, you know, moving forward in the lawn maintenance field, right? So y'all stay tuned for all that. What else I got? Now, we're not working because, well, like I was saying yesterday, you know, I didn't have quite enough. We were all discombobulated. The rain and the 4th really kind of screwed a lot of stuff up. So a lot of jobs just got put off, and we did all the ones we could. I couldn't go dive into half a route here and a half a route there. I didn't want to do that because, well, it's just not the smart way to do stuff when you're trying to make money at this. And I'm trying to make top dollar. And as long as I'm not losing the customer or the work, the money ain't going nowhere. And the profit margin is still the same. But if I reach into this 9 or 10, you know, lawn route and do 2 or 3 of them, and then reach into this $9 or $10, 10 lawn route and do 2 or 3 of them, then I'm really screwing everything up for the next rotation when things are back to normal again, or as normal as they can possibly be. So that's pretty much what I did this week. We did all that we could, and you know, that made sense, you know, from a expense standpoint. And you know, I don't see no point in going out and doing lawns, and you know, because I try to keep my number friendly for the customer, but all that number is based on what it costs me to do the properties: fuel, time, energy, labor, and frustration. So y'all saw the water line yesterday. Y'all saw where the you know, the turbo baffle got bent. Now the water line didn't do that. I did that on the very first job. I mean, yesterday was just a big chaotic thing. We got through it, and I made it, you know, made about, you know, $1,000 or so. Well, the business grossed that. The Shark Bite fitting, whoever came up with that, I'm sure is a multi-millionaire by now. That is freaking awesome. One of the guys came in the comments saying that's not a permanent fix. Well, it's permanent enough for what I'm doing. If it goes bad, then well, you know, I did all I could do. So and I told the HOA about it too. I mean, I didn't try to sweep nothing under the rug. As soon as it happened, before I even turned the camera on, I had already emailed the HOA over there, and I had already called my contact and left a message and texted them. So I did not have, and it's just a part of how things just move along. So over there on that particular HOA, the board members are always changing, and the board members are the people that live there. And so when I first started doing it, that HOA last year, I had one contact person, and then this year that person no longer on the board, so they had another guy that was my contact person. And then he got frustrated with the whole process of, especially with the lawn care, because he didn't like the once a month thing. He thought it was just going to be just a terrible idea. And when he got a little attitude with me yesterday because I refused to run my mowers or the weed eaters around, well, at his driveway, they made a mistake when they built the house. They had the driveway going in one spot, the contractors did. So what happened was, they found out for whatever reason, I don't really know all the detail behind it, that they couldn't use that spot to start the driveway going up in there. And it was the same frontage where I hit the water line. And I was super frustrated too, you know. So the contractor that built the home, and keep in mind, them homes have been there for about 3 or 4 years. Well, they dumped a bunch of riprap, big rock and little rock, all right there. I guess they were going to make their driveway to go in to build the property, to build the house. Then I guess the county didn't approve it, or whatever happened. So they moved it over about 80 feet, you know, but they didn't move the riprap. So all that big rock is there and grass is just growing crazy through it. It was there last year and grass is growing through it. But see, we were able to manage it with spray and weed eating. So you go a month without weed eating that, then well, you can't even stand in it. Well, you can't stand in it anyway. It's the riprap rock, or you know, there's snakes and stuff, and you can't run over with a lawnmower. So what I do, I'm gonna spray it, right? So that homeowner comes home yesterday, and everything's cut, everything's looked nice and neat, except for that one, I don't know, 20 foot by 20 foot spot that goes where all that riprap is. It goes from pretty much about 6 foot from the road all the way down to the gate, to a fence, to that black fence. And he calls me and he says, hey man, y'all missed a big spot here at my house. And I'm like, no, we didn't. I didn't miss a spot, man. I said, I don't know whose bright idea it was to dump riprap right there on the roadside like that. I said, you know, and you know, I was frustrated, and you know, I'm not going to be able to weed eat that and mow that, man. You know, because of all the facts. If we were doing it every 2 weeks, it wouldn't be a big deal, right? But I'm not going to stand up in grass freaking, you know, up to my waist, on standing on rock and all with a weed eater. And I'm not going to have my guys doing that either. It's just, you know, number one, and it's my fault. I'm not, you know, I'm just giving information here. Number one is I shouldn't have really took on the property for the money, because last year we were doing it every 2 weeks and it was $400 a cut. This year they didn't want to do it every 2 weeks. They wanted to do it once a month for $500 a cut. I told them, no, I'll do $600 a cut. And they said, how about meet us in the middle at $550? So I said, okay, right, I'll try it, right, as long as I can spray. And that is the little HOA that we do over there. They're both the big HOAs we do are right there together. So this guy that had all the riprap in front of his, you know, out on his property, he was the contact guy at the time. So he said, man, that looks like hell up there, man. He said, I can't believe we're paying you. This is what he told me last night in a text message. He said, I can't believe we're paying you and you don't even weed eat that. And I said, whoa, partner, hold up. You know, we're only doing it once a month, and it can't get like that. And me spend an hour weed eating and, you know, trimming around with all them rock and stuff. So get this. So that dude, I mean, and that property, you know, the one where I hit the water line and where the riprap are, you know, it's probably about 4 or 5 acres there. He's got a big field behind the house and everything, right? And he's got a tractor. He's got a tractor with a bucket on it, you know. And, you know, I know that. So I'm thinking, man, this dude's just going to leave this rock here. He could do something else with that rock. I mean, that rock costs money, you know. And they got a big drainage area. They got a problem with some drainage over there in one spot. He could just take his tractor and take that riprap and put it down there on that drainage. Because when I said, hey man, whose bright idea was it to put riprap by the road like that? I said, man, I can't put mowers on that and I can't weed eat that, you know. So, well, you did last year. I said, yeah, but last year I was coming every 2 weeks and I was able to spray it. See, and sometimes the homeowner gets all in the freaking way. The homeowner, he's like, well, I guess I'll have to spend my afternoon going out there and weed eating it. And I'm like, well, you know, whatever you need to do, man, you know, you can do. I said, but if I was you guys, all you guys homeowners over there, sometimes you just got to put your foot down. I said, all you homeowners over there, y'all are paying half of what y'all were paying last year. And, you know, that's going to cost you. You know, you don't get the same service for half the pay and half the time. See, it's really, I say pay, but I really mean the time. Like, I would probably be more willing to do it every 2 weeks for $300 a cut, right? Or something like that. That would be more friendly for me, you know, instead of once a month, because you go a month over there, man, dude, and it takes us a lot longer. I mean, like twice as long, because well, there's trash you got to pick up, and there's just a lot of stuff on the roadsides. I told him, yeah, man, I don't know, man. I said, but I sprayed that whole area. He said, well, it looks like shit, man. I guess I'm going to go out there and weed it in my off time when I get off work. I'm like, well, you do whatever you want to do, man, but if I was you, I wouldn't weed eat that. I said, because if you weed eat it, then the spray's not going to work as good. And I said, y'all got to help me help y'all. I said, when I spray these fence lines and you text me and call me and said, well, nobody weed eated the fence lines. Well, nobody is going to weed eat the fence lines. We're not weed eating no fence. We're not doing no weed eating on the fence lines, because, well, you're talking about 2 miles of fence line. I ain't gonna do that, man. You know, for $550. I'm not doing that. Our deal, when I first got the property last year, we were doing it for $400 a cut, and I was able to spray. That was part of that. Was the whole you know. But the homeowners over there now, they're starting to cry about how bad it looks before I come and cut it. And when you can't come as frequently as you need to, what ends up happening is, well, it doesn't look that great when you're done either, you know. But one of the problems I've been having over there is some homeowners cut their right outside their driveway, you know, right outside the fence where they got a little Bermuda sod, and then you got the roadside grass, you know, but they're letting that sod, that Bermuda, grow that whole month too. And so when I cut that, it looks like it's scalping it. I'm not I cut Bermuda every day. He said, well, y'all scalp my Bermuda grass. I said, well, ain't nobody scalp it, man. I said, what happened was, it's been a month since it's been cut. So you're gonna get white. When the Bermuda gets this tall, there's no way that you're not gonna see white. You know, he thinks because you see the white, you know, there's white particles or whatever, you know, that's from where the sun has not hit the grass because it's so tall. You know, there's nothing I can do about that. So I said, man, you can go out there, and I'm gonna ride by there here shortly. I said, man, you can go by there. I said, man, you can go out there and weed eat all that if you want to. I said, but when you do that, you're negating the fact that I sprayed, and you're not. And then what happens is the spray does not work down to the roots as good. It will work, but not as good. You gotta, when you're spraying, and you know, and I'm not a chemologist or nothing, but when you're spraying, you need to spray it. You don't weed eat it, then spray it. That is not how it's supposed. That's not to get the best effect with the spray that I use. Now, some people might say, oh yeah, that's bullshit, but whatever. You know, the spray I use, you need to spray it when it's full green and growing. You know, preferably on a day like yesterday, where it's hot, humid, the ground is a little bit wet, and all the grass, weeds, or whatever has a little bit of dew on them and stuff. That is the best time to spray. The best time. And then after you get done spraying, if you can just get just a little bit of rain on it or water on it after the spray sits on there for 3 or 4 hours, if you can just get just a little mist of water on there, which we did yesterday because it rained yesterday afternoon. When we got done, it rained. So, and the spray had been on there about 3 hours. So there is no better conditions than that for it to last. But if I spray it and you go out there and you weed eat it, in a month's time, we're dealing with the same thing again. And see, that's a problem I have over there. So I'm doing it cheaper, but it's taking me longer. And it's not looking as good. I like quality too, you know. It ain't just money, it's, you know, I want quality. So anyway, I'll see if he listens to me. He's kind of a smart ass, and he's a young dude. He's probably 30. He's kind of a smart ass, and you know, well, he got, you know, he thinks he can come at me any kind of way, and I'm just gonna bow down. But see, I don't give a damn. I'll drop that whole damn HOA over there behind the kind of things that that's going on over there, especially when y'all saw them water lines coming out of the ground. What the hell is that, dude? I mean, you know, they think that I'm going to weed eat around every one of them water meters and stuff. That ain't part of the deal. You got 40 houses. I'm not finna weed eat around all that shit, man. That is not our deal. It's not the deal last year either. You know, I've been very surprised that we haven't hit one. They've been there the whole time. But see, us being able to come every 2 weeks has made it where we see them. You know, the whole reason why I cut that one road, that roadside right there, is because of that. Because I know that the guys that work for me, if they get over there, they might hit one of them, and then there I go. You know, it just was not a good day yesterday. And then for the guy to come back at me all sideways, you know, I ain't studying that crap, man. I guess I am if I'm talking to you about it, so.